Assalamu alaikum. Here we're going to share with you, Allah through me, inshallah. The examples that Allah give you about woman working, okay? The woman can work. And here we are to see it. Surah number 2, Surah Al-Baqarah, ayat 233. Okay? You gotta read it. I could not post it all because it didn't fit the handy. When I took the screenshot, it was like this. It was without finishing. You know, all I could capture was the full Arabic, and almost full in English. In this ayat, the ayat number 233 of the Surah Al-Baqarah is very, very beautiful, not just because it let you know that woman can be working as nanny, taking care of babies of other people, but also that you have to pay her correctly. It's not just an ayat telling you that the woman can work, it's an ayat telling you she has to get well paid. She has to get paid properly. Now, properly is different from Africa to Europe, for example. In Africa, maybe she gets paid €1 per hour. In Europe, she has to be paid €8 per hour. This is the right stuff. This is obeying Allah's command. Okay? Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah number 2, ayat 233. You have to read it. Go read it and you will see that it says you have to pay them correctly. You have to pay them well. Beautiful, beautiful ayat, emancipating woman, really good. And remember, this is 1,400 years ago. 1,400 years ago. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in that time tells you, pay well the woman. And today, in 2020, or in 1,430 something, the women are still not getting well paid everywhere in the world, and the woman is still not getting allowed in the countries where Sunnis are ruling. In some countries they can, but in many countries they cannot. And now we see Surah 28, ayat 23. Surah Al-Qasas, ayat 23. And when he came to the well of Madian, he's talking about Moses, about Musa alayhi salam. You gotta read the previous ayats and the ayats afterwards so that you understand and you see everything that I'm telling you now. And when he came to the well of Madian, he found there a crowd of people watering their flocks. And he found aside from them 2 women driving back their flocks. He said, "What is your circumstance?" They said, "We do not water until the shepherds dispatch their flocks, and our father is an old man." That's because in that time, you know, the women were treated as inferior and they were not allowed to be together with men or working or that stuff. But here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows you that a woman can be shepherd. They can shepherd the sheep. Okay, like a man, yeah, working like a man. After Moses he offered himself to water their flocks. The woman went to her father and spoke to him, and then they came back to Moses and brought him to his father to get married with him. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not only allow this woman to work, but also to marry a prophet. Subhanallah Rabbi. A woman that can work is a woman that can marry a prophet, no problem. So it's a good woman for a prophet, then it gotta be a good woman for you too. Unless you consider yourself better than a prophet. Let's go. Let's see what is next. Surah 65. Surah 65, Surah At-Talaq, ayat 6. It says, Lodge them in a section of where you dwell out of your means, and do not harm them in order to oppress them. And if they should be pregnant, then spend on them until they give birth. And if they breastfeed for you, then give them their payment and confer among yourselves in the acceptable way. Here is also commanding you to pay the woman well. And here, let's continue. But if you are in discord, then there might breastfeed for the father another woman, and also pay her well. Okay, remember, you gotta pay her well. You have to pay her in the acceptable way, is what it says. Now, for you who read Arabic, let me put it like this. There you go, read it. Ready? Go. Here is the same ayats but in Spanish. Sorry. A ver. Okay, now we finished. And those who argue concerning Allah after He has been heard, their argument is invalid to the Lord, and upon them is His wrath, and for them is a severe punishment. Surat 42, Ayat 16. Surat Ashura, Ayat 16. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.